now that you're home with your kids, you're finding that you're bickering more, you're fighting with each other, you're getting a little frustrated with your kids. Totally normal. Happens all the time. Unfortunately, when we get these grand ideas for implementing some educational activities in our day with our kids, we find that one day is great and maybe the next 10 days are not. In all my years of homeschooling, I found I was lucky if I had one really good day a week, more like one really good day every 2 weeks. Most of them were okay days and maybe 1 or 2 bad days. That's normal. And we can't envision school at our house. The kids are not going to sit there for hours on end, not touching each other, not bugging each other, not bugging us for hours quietly every day. It's just not going to happen. So my advice to you today is to think outside the box. Stop thinking about school and what you think your kids should be doing. Look at their personalities, their ages, what they're interested in, and provide a variety of activities. Number 1 is that kids need to move. Don't have them sitting down doing workbooks or working on computer math for hours. Have them get up. Do times tables, bouncing a ball to each other. Do something active. I found that especially my son needed to move. Sometimes he needed to move first thing in the morning. For a year, I would take him out and he would have to run up and down the street 5 times before he could come in the morning and eat breakfast and do his school. He needed that activity first thing in the morning. Another time we had stairs in our house and I would have the kids run up and down the stairs, and every time they came down they would get a marshmallow, and every 5 times they'd get a chocolate chip. Whatever it is, make up some fun thing in your family. Another thing that both of my great homeschool mentors taught me was that we need alone time. And that alone time is really important for the kids and our sanity. You could call it whatever you want. Usually it's great maybe just before lunch or maybe after lunch. Everybody goes away for 2 hours away from each other. You go in your room, they can read a book. It's better not to be on screen time because that doesn't rest them as well. One of my daughters would go and climb the tree in the front yard and just be alone for a while. It's just a great time for everybody to have alone time. Someone I knew did mandatory nap time. She called it nap time. I wouldn't call it nap time because I think the kids would complain, but she did it from the beginning, that for 2 hours after lunch every single day, everybody went their separate ways. She worked from home, and so she had to have 2 hours, and her toddlers and babies knew that they were alone for 2 hours, and that's just the way it was, and she trained her kids to do that. Do what you can do. Another thing is being out in nature is really helpful. Being in nature, there's a homeschool theorist called Charlotte Mason, and she had a lot of nature studies in her philosophy. And one of the things that she would do is every day you would go out in nature and draw nature and just be with nature. That's a great thing to do. So get your kids out, give them a variety of activities. Don't be upset if you're getting on each other's nerves because that's totally normal, and just enjoy the journey and don't expect perfection.